really solidified in me that I love reading cozy books the absolute most. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of another weekly read on vlog, and this time the theme is cottagecore. I am so excited. I have had this idea in my head for months and I just knew summer was going to be the perfect time. I wasn't actually sure which way round to do these vlogs, but thanks to everyone on Discord we decided to have cottagecore for July. If you ever want to take part in Discord, just like chats, readathons and help choosing videos, then feel free to join. That'll be linked in the description below. It is all free. It's really fun over there, so yeah, feel free if you would like to, no pressure. But yes, this week is cottagecore. I'm so excited for it. So we have cute, cozy books for the reading week. I have a couple of plans that I want to do, like I've got plants that I need to repot and things like that. It's just all gonna be cute, cozy cottagecore theme. I'm so excited. Now yes, the bats do not fit. That is from Summerween, that is from last week's vlog, but I really don't want to take them down. Like, I love them, and honestly I know they're going to be just back up for Halloween, so I might just take it down after Halloween, ready for like Christmas decorations. Until then I'm more than happy to leave them up there. I think they look really cool. Let's get into what we're reading for this week. I have a couple of things I want to read. One of them is an ebook, Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell, and just look at this cover. I'm sorry, but does that not just scream cottagecore? It looks so cute and cozy. This is a cozy fantasy, I think romance. It's adorable. So we have a main character. Now I am paraphrasing here. I have not read the synopsis of this book in months, so I could have this completely wrong, but I do believe we're following a main character who has some sort of magic to do with growing things and then ends up in this deal with another person who ends up being the love interest. And again, I could have that terribly wrong. It has been months since I looked at this. This is a book that I have had on Kindle for ages. When it came on like a 99p deal on Kindle, I snapped it up and it's just sat there. It's just sat there for ages, and then I had the idea to do this, so I knew that this ebook was going to be the ebook for the week. So that's what we're going with. I'm really excited. I have been told that I'm going to love this book, that lots of people think it is definitely my sort of thing. So hopefully I like it. I have really high expectations. And then the physical book for the week is Garden Spells, and this is by Sarah Addison Allen. And again, the cover is just screaming cottagecore. Like, how can you not? This is just gorgeous. I am so excited. This is only a short book, so I actually think I'm going to get both of these books, so this book and the ebook, done pretty early. My cat's using her scratcher, so but yeah, so I think I'm gonna get both of these books done pretty early, so we might add to it, we'll see. But this is one I'm really excited about. Again, this is kind of like cozy, low stakes, not much of a plot to it from what I have gathered from this book. We are following some sisters that have this special tree. I think it's an apple tree, and it's something magical about it. I, again, don't know much about the synopsis of this book. I don't really want to know much going in. I just know that I'm expecting a cute, cozy, heartwarming time. So those are the reading plans, but like I said, I do think I'm going to get these done really quickly, especially if I'm thinking about starting this evening, which I might end up doing. It's not long. How long is this book? We've got an excerpt of the second book, and you also have like recipes at the back. Oh, not recipes, a kitchen journal at the back. So it's actually only 286 pages long. So I'm imagining I'm going to get a lot of this read. I don't think I'm going to do much reading tomorrow. I've got my partner coming over, so probably not reading much tomorrow. So I'll probably start this evening and then we'll see. But I think I'm going to get this done really easily. And then we might just do a perusal of my shelves to see what books I've got that would work for cottagecore, cute, cozy times. So yeah, that's the plan. This week I do have a couple of other things to do. So I've got work for the majority of the week, so I'm working up until Thursday. On Wednesday though, I'm going to a book launch because it is Katie's book launch. I'll have her channel linked below. She's from Books and Things and she is lovely, and I'm so excited for her book, which actually maybe we'll make that the second book this week because my copy of her book has shipped. So I'm hoping if that arrives in the next few days, maybe we'll read that. So excited for it. It's a cute historical fiction with inspiration from a lot of classics, and it just sounds like it's going to be so much fun. It's a book where they're just like gossiping about other people in this like little country place, which again I think would work for this vlog. So we might end up reading that one as well. I'm so excited and so grateful that Katie invited me to the book launch, so you'll be seeing parts of that. And yeah, we're just gonna go with the vibe vibes. I want to try and bake a cake. I've tried, but they've never gone very well, and it's been a long time since I've tried baking a cake. So we're gonna try baking a cake. We've got cute cozy books. We're gonna do some stuff with my plants because I need to repot them. I'm even thinking of buying another plant because I just love plants. Like I want them everywhere. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing really, really well. I hope you've had a lovely week. Let me know, what have you been up to? What have you been reading? And yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there. Get on with this week and all the cute cozy reads. And honestly, I think a nice cute cozy week after Summerween and reading horrors and thrillers and things is exactly what is needed. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I've had a really nice couple of days. The first day, so Saturday, I chilled out, did some editing, did some relaxing, quite nice. Yesterday my partner came over and we played some board games. Today I got this cute little plant that I'm really happy with. So initially I did want a big floor plant, but the plants that they had were actually kind of smaller than what I wanted, and the biggest ones that they had are actually poisonous to cats, and while my cat is very good at not nibbling on my plants, it was still, I don't know, I wasn't sure. So I just thought, you know what, they're not as big as what I wanted anyway, so we'll leave that. And instead I got this cute little one, and this is one I had my eye on like a month ago when I first saw it, and I was so tempted to get it then. And then the next day I went to go back to get it and it was gone. And I was so sad. And they finally had it back. And this is the last one that they had. And so I was like, right, that's it, you're coming home. And it is going to live just here because I think it looks really cute on my bookshelves. I love having plants and books together. Like I love it. I adore it. And it also gets the light from the window, which is literally here. So, well, across the road. But you know, it works. So I'm really, really happy. Not the big plant I was after, but I'm still really happy I got a new plant. And of course, I have been reading. I have been reading Garden Spells, and I have only read 2 chapters. I read 1 chapter on Saturday and 1 chapter on Sunday. Although on Saturday, I did reread the first chapter. I was enjoying it so much that I was like, actually, I really want to annotate this one. I reread the first chapter to underline, annotate, tab it, because I'm just enjoying this book so much. Like, I'm having such a good time. So let's just quickly go over my annotating supplies. No, the tabs, the 3 tabs that I'm using, and then we'll talk about the book more in detail. So I've got green for descriptions of nature because there have been a couple of just beautiful times. Like the first bit of this book was absolutely lovely. It's about the moon, nights when the stars winked and the moon was just a cresting slither, smiling provocatively down at the world. And I just really loved it. I just thought that was gorgeous. So yeah, so I've got green for those sort of like nature descriptions. Then we have this kind of like yellowy green for this romance, this budding romance that's occurring that I'm very excited for. And then we have this pink for quotes that I love. So in this book we have a few different perspectives actually, but our main character that we're following is Claire, and Claire lives at Waverley House. It has been in the Waverley family for a good few generations, and the Waverleys are known to be slightly eccentric. Claire is someone that you learn has had a really difficult childhood. So her childhood was spent flitting around from place to place. Her mum was never really like there for her in a way. They were constantly moving around, constantly like living hand to mouth almost, like never really having enough money for things. As a result, Claire has just always wanted a place to belong. So when they came to Waverley House at the age of 6, where her grandmother was, she finally found that place to belong, to be herself, to have somewhere that is for her. So that is just lovely. I love seeing that. I love seeing how she has grown so attached to this place and never wants to leave it because it's finally a place that she belongs. You then have Tyler, who is a next door neighbour, who's the potential love interest, and he is an art teacher, and you get a little bit around his background. And then we have Claire's sister, Sydney, and the second chapter focuses a lot on her perspective and trigger warnings for domestic violence. Sydney is fleeing from a very abusive partner. Well, I wasn't expecting domestic violence, to be fair, in this book. I was expecting a lot more like cozy, wholesome vibes, and it still does give you that while dealing with a slightly darker topic. We see Sydney escaping from it and running away from it, and she comes back to Waverley House, which is a place she has never wanted to come back to. The restlessness, wanting to move around and stuff, never really feeling like it was her home. And we also see how Claire and her sister, like, their relationship's a bit strained. Claire does regret that when she was younger she wasn't more or nicer and welcoming to Sydney, that she was very jealous and overprotective of things like the garden at Waverley House and not allowing Sydney to go near it or share her things. And you can understand why that does kind of all get explained, but at the same time Claire really regrets it. And so I think this book, you're really going to see them mending that relationship and coming together as a family, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm also loving the kind of like little hints of almost like witchcraft in a way, where we have an apple tree that likes to throw its apples around. If you bite into it, it shows you a bit of the future. There's something that is really monumental in your future, and how Claire uses different herbs and flowers and plants and things to do different things. Some things can induce happiness, some things have luck. It's really interesting how that all works, and I'm really loving it. Like, this is so cute and wholesome. I'm having such a lovely time, so I'm very much looking forward to just sitting down and reading a bit more of this today. Like, I am taking it really slow, but I also really want to because it's just such a wholesome book. So yeah, really enjoying that. And then I have started my ebook. I started this today while I was on break at work, and I am now up to, when it loads, chapter 6, page 84 of Flower Heart, and I'm really enjoying this. This is really cute. So we have our main character, I've kind of forgotten her name and I don't know why. Oh, it's because the person that she's interacting with, Xavier, only ever uses her surname. Okay, we'll come back to that because my camera battery is flashing at me, so we don't have time. Our main character, she is this young witch. She does not have control over her magic. Instead, her magic kind of has control over her, and it kind of explodes out of her, but in really destructive ways. And at the very start of this book, the council was coming together to decide whether they should bind her magic, so make it so that she can't use her full magic, and also very, very painful when you try to use it, or just to take her magic away altogether, which are both terrible things. And she is really stressed and frustrated and upset because all she wants to do is heal people and use her magic for good. And in the end, this kind of maelstrom of emotions ends up spilling over, and her father gets caught in the crossfire, someone that she loves dearly, and ends up with flowers growing out of his heart, which are poisonous. They've given her an extension on being able to use her magic because she needs to be able to be at her full potential, to be able to bless her father, to reverse everything that's happened. And you're seeing this girl try and come together. However, we do have a side character, Xavier, who I think is a bit more going on with him than what we think. I don't think it's as nice as what it is. Our main character, she kind of sees him as this really nice childhood best friend. They haven't spoken together in 5 years. She doesn't understand why, but you can see how she's really wanting to see the best in him, but I'm getting there are inklings of things that are just not quite right with him. So yeah, I'm really enjoying both. They are both really cute, cozy, comforting reads. They're so easy to read and relax to, and I'm really enjoying this week. And I do have more things I want to talk about, but my camera is flashing at me. The battery is just going off on one. I just don't know how long it's going to last, so I don't want to go off into another tangent just in case. But just know the next update is probably going to include book mail. We're going to get B-roll of the book launch because that's happening on Wednesday, so I'll probably next update you on Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to have time. I might have time before I go to the book launch, actually. And then I have an idea for some video plans going forward, which I have already discussed on Discord, so it'd be really nice just to be able to also get your input and see what you think of it, because I've got some plans. I was talking with my partner yesterday about my reading taste and how I'm feeling towards books and stuff, and kind of what I want to be reading more of, and it was really, really helpful to just be able to like brainstorm with him. He mainly just sat there and listened to me while I waffled on, but it was really helpful. And so I have a few plans going forward of what I would like to do. So yeah, I think we'll talk about all of those, but in the next update, because my camera battery really is flashing at me. So the good news is I'm loving both of my books so much. They are really delivering on the cute cozy feels. It's perfect. We're off to a fantastic start. We have a new plant, we're having great cozy books, and I just hope the good vibes continue. So yeah. Hour before I leave for Katie's book launch, but I wanted to quickly pop in because I have some book mail to unbox and I have made really good progress with both the books that I'm reading. So let's start off with Flower Heart. I'm now up to chapter 14, page 199, so I'm just over halfway through this book and I'm really enjoying it. It's really cute. It is a young adult cozy fantasy and it's so sweet and lovely, but at the same time the plot is there and I'm really enjoying it. So we have our main plot with our main character who oh my god, I forgot her name again. I want to say Clara. Honestly, because she says Xavier a lot and he always goes Miss Lucas, I still can't remember her bloody first name. Miss Lucas, the main plot line obviously is the fact that she has kind of cursed her father in a way with having these poisonous flowers grown out of his heart, and she's trying to get control of her magic enough to be able to save him because her magic just doesn't listen to her. There is also a kind of like a background plot line going on of this potion going around called Euphoria, and what this potion does is causes the person to have these amazing feelings of, well, euphoria. They feel absolutely amazing. The problem is they end up in this dream that they cannot wake up from. They cannot see or hear what is actually around them. Instead, they're caught up in this kind of waking dream, and when it gets very excessive, like a few days into it, you then get dandelions growing out of your skin. It's something that is banned, is not allowed, there is no cure for it at the minute, and Xavier is desperately trying to create a cure. And so you have this background thing going on of like, who on earth created this, what's gone on with it, and I like it. I like the plot lines in this book. I think it's really fun and engaging while also being cute and wholesome, and we're seeing Miss Lucas try and come into herself and kind of stop berating herself all the time. Like, her magic is constantly putting her down. It's like this little voice in her head that doesn't stop, and I think it's just so relatable when you are young, because our main characters, they're 16, and even as you get older, that feeling doesn't always go away. I just feel like you can really kind of connect to what she's going through, and it's just so, yeah, relatable, but also being really heartwarming at the same time. And I love seeing her relationship with her dad and how close that is, and that's really nice, but also the difficulties of growing up as well. Like, I think it's just such a cute little book, and it's really fun and heartwarming. Is it a book that is going to be a new favorite? It's going to stay with me? Not particularly, but is it hitting that cute cozy fantasy yeah, really well actually. I'm really enjoying this. There's also transgender representation in here, which I really like, and just in general this is just such a cute, wholesome book, but with a plot to it. Sometimes you can get some cozy fantasies and they just don't have any plot and it's all vibes, which is absolutely fine, but I like the fact that this one has a bit of a plot line to it as well. That's really good. I'm really enjoying that. I then have read quite a good chunk of garden spells, which I said to you, oh, I'm gonna take this slow. I'm really enjoying taking it slow, except yesterday I read a massive chunk of this book, because yesterday I didn't have too much to do. I was quite tired after work. I didn't have anything pressing that needed to be done, so I decided to take an evening off and just chill out and read garden spells. At the same time, Leandra was doing sprints, so it worked out really well. I'll have her channel linked below. She's someone that I found through Danny and the Battle of the Booktuber videos that have been going up. It's been really fun. I'll have, again, people linked below and everything, but it was really fortuitous timing that she was hosting sprints as I was coming home and just trying to relax after work. So I got a massive chunk of this read. I'm now up to chapter 11, page 201, and yeah, it's just been great. I'm loving it. I love the fact that we're kind of getting lots of different perspectives within this small little community, and I really like that. We're seeing all of them with their general everyday problems. This is a very slice of life book, but I really like it. There's just something about the way it's written that is just so heartwarming. Like, I really, when I got home yesterday, all I wanted to do was sit down and read this book. Like, that is literally everything I wanted to do, was just sit there and read this book. That was it, because I'm just enjoying this so much and I look forward to picking this up. I look forward to having a cup of tea and just settling in with this book, because it is just so cozy and comforting. I'm definitely going to get the rest of Sarah Addison Allen's books. I really like this writing style. I think it is so wholesome, and when I am wanting that cute cozy feel, this is going to be the go-to author for me, because I just think it really works. It does slice of life with a slight magical element to it, and it just really works for me. And that actually brings me to what I was meant to say in the last update, where I was then getting a bit chaotic towards the end, which is I'm really loving my cozy book. I'm a reader that reads across pretty much everything. The only genres I tend not to read too much out of is non-fiction, although I will pick them up every so often. I also don't tend to read much just contemporary, literary fiction contemporary. I am starting to dabble in it more, but I'm still finding my feet with my subgenre within that I really love. And contemporary romance is something that I don't read loads of. And when I'm thinking about my reading taste and the books that stay with me, yes, it is the more darker, gothic leaning book. I did a recent video of going through my favourite books of all time, and quite a few of them were more gothic leaning, and I love those books. That's why I've also been exploring horror more this year, and I've enjoyed all of that. And I am a big fantasy reader, although not so much this year. Instead, I've been straying more towards sci-fi, which I've been enjoying so much. But at my core, the books I want to read the most, and they're books that I don't get bored of reading, cozy books. Whether that's cozy fantasy, cozy sci-fi, cozy mysteries in particular, even a cozy thriller, because you have got some fun cozy thrillers out there. Those are the books that I'm loving. Those are the books that I want to read all the time. And while they may not stay with me and they might not stick with me as like my favourite books ever, they will definitely be books that I will go back to and reread because they're cozy and comforting. I will gravitate towards that more. Like, I have enjoyed the past couple of weeks where I've been reading slightly more horror leaning books and stuff, but I had the most fun last week reading Killers of a Certain Age, which, oh, it's up there, never mind. But that was a really fun, cozy, thriller leaning book, and it was just so silly and ridiculous, but I had so much fun with it. And is that my favourite book that I read that week? No, but it was the book I had the most fun with. And this is what I mean, like, I really enjoy weird books, unusual books, gothic leaning books. Like, I love all of this, but what I want to read on a day-to-day, cozy. So I'm loving this week, because while yes, by the end of this week I will probably be ready to change it up, I could just as easily change it up from cozy fantasy, which is what this week's been, to a cozy murder mystery and be really happy with that, and then follow that with another cozy fantasy or a cozy sci-fi, and I will be really happy. And I could just keep rotating between those and then sprinkle in a little bit of darker books every so often, and that is me 100% happy. It's been really fun realizing that as a reader, like especially because I was going through a bit of a crisis for a few months, is not knowing kind of what I want to read. Like I know what I enjoy, but what do I want to read on a day-to-day? Which brings me to the point of this massive ramble, which is I'm going to start doing some new releases videos, but of cozy books. So I kind of get this idea because I like it when Olivia Reads a Latte does it, and also other YouTubers like Gabby, and I'm sure there's a few others where they read new releases in a vlog, like doing a vlog style video and it's just new releases. And I kind of wanted to do that, but I want to do it for cozies. I've never seen someone do that, and maybe you do, and please let me know because I would love to check them out. But where it's all about the cozy books, the new cozy books that are out, and are they worth your time? Like I want to do that, but it would be a longer style vlog, probably going to be over the course of a month, and have it as a mixture of cozy mysteries, cozy sci-fi, cozy fantasy, depending on what's coming out will depend on what I pick up. So I'm kind of thinking it. I did run it past Discord and the feedback seemed to be pretty positive, so let me know if you would be interested in that. I think the first kind of tester video for it will probably be in September. I might be able to do one in August, we'll see, because I've got a bit of time off work and there is a couple of new releases coming out in August that I'm interested in, so I just need to see if the timing works for when I'm off, because I might be able to do like a daily vlog with that, maybe like one of them, see how you like it. But let me know what you think in the comments below, whether you think it's something that you'd be interested in or not. But yeah, this was a massive long tangent which I'll probably try and edit a little bit more cohesively. Let's get into the book mail. I have 2 pre-orders from Waterstones. One of these is for the book launch tonight, one of them is not, and I don't know which one's which, so we're just going to do this one. Oh no, we can't pull it. That was terrible. Okay, what is this? Okay, this is not the book launch book. This is Darkness Within Us by Trisha Levenseller, and this is a book I really wasn't expecting we would ever get. This is a kind of standalone continuation companion, that's what I'm after, to The Shadows Between Us. The Shadows Between Us is a young adult fantasy story with romance, and we have a main character that is setting out to seduce the king, marry the king, and then kill the king so that she can become queen and rule on her own. And in this book we follow her sister, and I think it's going to be really fun. I liked that book. I've read and reread Shadows Between Us a good couple of times and I've really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to going back into that world but following different characters. And I also feel like this is a much better way to do a continuation. I think if we were to continue from the same perspectives I wouldn't be anywhere near as interested, because I feel like it worked well as a standalone, but it's kind of doing what a lot of romance authors do, which is do these companions that show off side characters within the first book, and I don't mind that. I think I'm really gonna like this, so I did decide to get in hardback because I have Shadows Between Us in hardback, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's just going to be a really fun, easy time. So let's get to this one. Oh, I'm so excited for this book. That was better as well. Okay. Oh, she's so chunky. It is The Trouble with Mrs. Montgomery Hearst by Katie Lumsden. This is the book launch that I'm going to tonight. I'm so excited. I'm honestly tempted to get Katie to sign it. I might bring it with me tonight because I'm very tempted to get to sign it. I read her first book, The Secrets of Heartwood Hall, and loved it. That was a homage to kind of like more gothic leaning classics. This one is more of a homage to the romance leaning classic, those small countryside based classics. So it says here it's a love letter to Jane Austen and Elizabeth Gaskell, although I watched Katie's video that went live yesterday about her talking about this book and all the things that went into this book. One of them was Anthony Trollope as an author. I haven't read any Anthony Trollope or Elizabeth Gaskell. I definitely need to get on that, but I'm so excited. We have this character called Mr. Hearst who has just announced that he is getting married. He is the most eligible bachelor in this little town. What is the town called? So we do have a lovely little map. Southwest Wickenshire. Look at this map. Look how amazing that is. But yes, Mr. Hearst is the most eligible bachelor and he decides to get married, except it's not someone young. Instead, it is someone that's already been married. who has kids. And this sets the gossip ablaze. I think, you know what, I'm going to take this with me today, and I'm actually going to start reading this on the train because I think it's going to be lovely to do. Read and loved Secrets of Heartful Hall. I had an amazing time annotating it. So perfect. It was gothic and everything. And then we have this one, which is going to be so much more light-hearted and gossipy and fun. Also, Katie said that she worked really hard on having a very different voice between the two of them. So I'm so excited and so happy that I've been invited. Although saying that, looking at how long I've been chatting for, I need to get ready. So I'm going to run out the door and go to this. But the point is, I've got great book mail. I'm loving my book. We're going to go and get ready because I'm running late. I have so many reading updates for you, but first of all we of course need to talk about the book launch because I was running out to that as I was finishing up this update. The last update. It was really good. Now, as you saw from the b-roll, I really didn't take much b-roll while I was there, and I definitely could have. I do feel like I could have done a lot more in terms of like showing off Daunt books because it's a nice little bookstore, little things like that. I just didn't. I got a little bit from Katie doing her speech, but that was it. I didn't end up filming that much. I was just enjoying it. I was having such a nice time seeing lots of booktubers that I've met up with before and being able to like catch up with them and everything. And it was also bittersweet because I haven't mentioned it here on my channel because I don't do very well with vocalizing these sort of things, but we did have a loss in the booktube community, and it was someone that we all knew. We had all met in person before, and she was so lovely, and that is Alice and her giant bookshelf. She was such a lovely person, and it was such a sudden thing that happened, and it was only a few weeks ago, and lots of people have spoken about Alice and done like videos commemorating her memory. Katie even spoke about her during the book launch, and as a result we were all happy to see one another, but it also really feeling that loss of Alice and a couple of other people that were just a bit too sad to be able to come to the book launch. It's really hard. It's really difficult. You know, I wasn't even as close to Alice as a lot of other people were. She was someone that I spoke with on videos, like we would watch each other's videos. We met up a couple of times. She was a massive one for cozy mysteries, Agatha Christie and everything, so that was something we had in common that we could talk about. It was really a lovely night at Katie's book launch, and seeing her talk about her book and everything. It was absolutely lovely, but also a little bit bittersweet because we were all really aware of Alice not being there. But on the plus side to everything, it was an amazing night, and I'm so proud of Katie and what she's done. Did start reading The Trouble with Mrs. Montgomery Hearst, and Katie did sign it for me, which I'm so happy with. We also got these little dance cards for the book launch, which is great. I read the first chapter on my way. Now, I was talking about in the start of this video how I would probably have enough time to fit this one in as well, because I'm like, oh, I've got a short book, it's not going to take me long to read. It's taken me so much longer to read, but not for a bad reason. I am off for the next few days, so I do have the weekend. However, I still need to finish Garden Spells, which we'll talk about in a minute. Today and tomorrow are busy YouTube days. Like, I need to get some filming done, I need to get some editing done, because otherwise you're going to have no video coming out on the Sunday before this video. I haven't filmed it, I haven't done it, especially like where I was ill and everything. I just got a little bit behind, so I need to focus on YouTube for the next 2 days, and then on Sunday me and my partner are spending the day together, so I'm not going to be reading much. So I do not want to try and squeeze this on this weekend and try and rush read it, and I do still have quite a few books left on my July TBR that I really want to get to. So what I'm thinking of doing is instead pushing this to August and trying to get it on the August TBR. Hopefully my TBR game works for that. It should do, because this could fit so many different prompts, so I'm hoping it will work fine. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But from that first chapter alone, the writing was just so good and I loved it. The first person we see, because there are so many characters in this book, is Amelia Ashpoint, and we're seeing her family. Then we're getting ready for a ball that she does not want to go go to, how her father is wanting her to marry Mr. Hurst, who is the most eligible bachelor currently, and she's like, yeah, no, I really don't want to get married, I don't want to do any of this, but she feels like she has to because of obligation, and obviously during the time that this is all set, and it was just great. I loved it. There was a slight humorous tone to it, which I really enjoyed, and it just felt so fun and fresh, and I'm so excited. It's also getting me wanting to read some of the classics that I've been putting off that I know will be more of like a cozy fun time rather than the gothic classics that I tend to go to. So I definitely am feeling like I want to do all of that, which is what I love about Katie. I love how Katie gets me so excited for classic. Really excited with this. So happy I've got it, so happy it's been signed, so happy I got to be a part of the evening and everything. Like, it was so good. So yeah, and it was lovely to see everyone, although I was the first person to leave because I had to be up at 5:30 the next morning and I was so tired, so I had to bow out at 8:30 of an evening. But it was lovely seeing everyone and just being able to spend time with them. But let's talk about all the books that I have been reading, because with regards to Garden Spells, I actually haven't read any more. When the last update happened, I was running out to catch my train and everything, so I didn't have time to read any of Garden Spells on Wednesday. Yesterday, I also didn't read it. I was going to. The plan was to read this, but I was really tired from being out late. Well, late for me, and then getting up early and then having work and everything, and I was instead finishing off a different book. So yeah, I haven't actually read any of this, so I still have my like 86 pages left to go. Another reason why I'm not going to be fitting in The Trouble with Mrs. Montgomery Hurst, but I think I can definitely get this finished over the next couple of days. Even with me being busy, I think I can definitely split this up and finish this over the weekend. I'm really wanting to. It is so much fun. I am absolutely loving this book. And then I was originally thinking, so yesterday I made a little reading plan for myself for the weekend, and I thought, oh, I'm going to finish Garden Spells this evening, or at least read another 40 pages of it, so then I can also finish off a little short story collection. How in the last update I was literally saying to you, I'm in the middle of a couple of other books that I haven't been talking about during vlogs and things because I'm reading them in between bits, like when I have spare time between finishing books to starting a new vlog. I then did think to myself, I've only got 2 short stories left of Midsummer Mysteries, so I could easily read one today and then one tomorrow, or whatever way around I just like to do things. I could read one on Saturday, one on Sunday before I wrap up this vlog. There are lots of things I could do just to finish this one out, and I have really enjoyed this, and I do think reading a couple of short cozy murder mystery stories works really well for this vlog because I just think it all fits in. At least it does for me. But I have been loving this. I've been reading this since the start of June. I mentioned it during my June wrap up that I'd been reading this, and I've enjoyed having a short story collection just to dip in and out of for those times where I'm in between books and vlog. Just like an evening where I've got a spare 30 minutes and I don't really want to focus on whatever I'm currently reading or starting a new book. So it's really nice just to have a little short story collection to pick up. So I would like to continue doing this. I would like to have a short story collection going on all the time. So I actually have quite a few short story collections that I own that I would like to get through. But yeah, so I am thinking hopefully to get these 2 finished as well. But because I still have 86 pages of Garden Spells left, we'll see whether this one happens. But they are cute, cozy murder mysteries. We have different ones from Miss Marple, Hercule Poirot, and some few others. Like the last one I read was a Mr. Parker Payne mystery. It's good fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this particular collection. I think it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I would like to try and get to that one as well. We will see. But now let's move on to the book that I finished, which is Flower Heart. I had so much fun with this, and I did sit down with my Kindle yesterday evening and just finished it out. I had 5 chapters left to read, and it's been a lovely time. I've really enjoyed this book, and something I've kept forgetting to talk about is that there is a crossover with Garden Spells, or at least that's what I think. I read the acknowledgements to see if it was mentioned, and it wasn't, but there is this Waverley's plant like kitchen book thing in there, which is, I mean, Waverley's, you know, we're following Sydney and Claire Waverley in Garden Spells, and they do talk about how different herbs and plants and things have different things to them. They can cause different things. Our main character, Clara, it was Clara, she talks about that book a lot. I don't know whether that was a intentional mention for Garden Spells or not, because again, it wasn't in the acknowledgements, or whether that's just a connection that I've made because I'm reading them both at the same time. But I like to think that it was intentional and there was a cute little crossover, and we have that in this weekly reading vlog accidentally, and I love that. But yeah, but this book aesthetic is really cute. It kind of goes well for a Studio Ghibli film. This is kind of what it reminds me of. I think if you like things like Spirited Away, things like that, I think you would really like this book because it just reminds me of that. There is enough plot to it, tension and things that Clara has to overcome that I think just works well for a Studio Ghibli film. Her magic is kind of like a representation of those negative thoughts we have about ourselves, and also depression is a big mention within here. It's not specifically called depression, but it is there about how people deal with it and how we need to help them and find ways to help these people, and that is really good. Like, I really enjoyed that mention. I thought it was really well done, and I like how Clara had to overcome so many things. Now, some parts of this are a little bit unbelievable because how you're telling me that you're going to leave a 16-year-old in charge of running a shop that sells potions to help with medical ailment? You probably wouldn't, but I never go into books trying to go for realistic unless the book is trying to be more realistic. This is a cute young adult cozy fantasy. There's nothing realistic about fantasy, so that's absolutely fine. But I do love those connections to depression, that little voice inside your head, which is so easy to listen to and it's so easy to put yourself down, and having to go against that and acknowledge that, okay, that's a thought, but that is not my reality. And I really liked that. I thought it was really well done. I've been thinking about doing a Studio Ghibli books to read if you like Studio Ghibli video for ages, and I've just never done it. I've kept putting it off, and I don't know why, because I actually have quite a few books that would work for it. So that's definitely something that's going to be coming your way. When? I don't know. Actually, you know what? I might put a poll up in Discord because I was thinking about doing a grimdark fantasy recommendations video in September, but I also really like this idea of just doing something cuter and cozier and lighter. So I think I might just leave it on Discord and we'll see what gets voted for what one they would rather see in September. Like, either way, the other video will get done probably later this year. And no, I feel like it'd be cute and cozy, and I'm in that cute and cozy feel, and I just love it. Anyway, that's all the reading updates for you. I'm having such a wonderful time. Today, we're gonna bake a cake. I'm very excited. I've been waiting for my day off to bake a cake because I knew I'd be too tired after work. So we're gonna be baking a cake. I'm trying to do a ginger cake, so hopefully that goes okay today. Then I will come back in when I've finished garden spells, hopefully finished off Midsummer Mysteries, and we'll just go from there. This has been such a needed week, I think, with just something so positive and cozy and reading all of the cozy books, and it's just been so lovely. So yeah. books, so we need to talk about what I actually read and wrap up this video. Actually no, before I get into that, let's talk about the fact that I made a ginger cake and it was so tasty. I really enjoyed it. I am so impressed with myself how well that cake went. Very pleased with that. My partner really enjoyed it as well. So yeah, making a cake succeeded. I am very, very happy with that. This lighting is pretty awful today, but it is pretty much thunderstorming at the minute. It is just done a little bit of thunder. It is pouring with rain. It is very overcast. We're just kind of making do, which is the wrong day to then straighten my hair, which I did because me and my partner are going out for lunch and it's kind of like a date day. So I was like, you know what? Let me do this. It's not something I like to do often because it takes freaking forever, but I was kind of in the mood to do it last night and now it's raining. So that's all gonna go curly in like 0.25 seconds. But you know, we've had a great time this reading week. I've enjoyed the cozy reads so freaking much. Starting off with finishing Garden Spells. I loved this book so freaking much. I loved how everything resolved. Yes, nothing really happens, like there is a bit of a plot line to it and we do tackle that darker subject of abuse, but not just that, like every character in here kind of has something to overcome, which is very true of life. Like we all have something that we need to deal with. Those problems are unique to each person and how you feel about it and how you overcome it is unique, but I really enjoyed it. I also loved the depictions of love in this book. There were just so many beautiful portrayals of love. You have love between sisters and the fact that they spent so much of their time misunderstanding one another, and now that they're older, they're having this second chance at having that relationship between them again and just kind of starting fresh. You have love when you lose the person that you love, whether it is through death or whether it is through just them leaving the relationship, and how difficult it is to get over that. That sort of thing is different for each person. Like you can understand the reasons why that particular person left, and it's not because of a lack of love, it's because you need to love yourself more and give yourself that time. I also really enjoyed the stirrings of new love and that realization of, you know, you can feel worthy enough, like don't put yourself down about these things. I really enjoyed it. It is very slice of life with just a sprinkling of little magic added in here and there, but there was just something about the way this was written that I really resonated with. So I definitely want to get the rest of Sarah Addison Allen's books because I just think the way they write makes mundane life so magical and beautiful. And whether it was just a one-off for this book or whether it is the case with her writing in general, I don't know, but I definitely want to find out. So yeah, I'm so pleased I bought this book. Like it was one that honestly I was on the fence about because I wasn't sure if I would like this type of cozy. I do like the cozy humorous murder mysteries, the cozy thrillers that are just a little bit funny, but this one, it has moments of being funny, but it's mainly just that, like I keep saying, that slice of life look at things. It really worked. It still really worked for me and I'm pleasantly surprised by that. So very, very thankful that I read this one and just enjoyed it so much. Like it really solidified in me that I love reading cozy books the absolute most. Yeah, I'm just so grateful for this. I would really give this one a try. It is just so peaceful and lovely. Yes, it's slow moving. Yes, not a lot happens, but it just worked. So yeah, I loved this. I thought it was great. And then yesterday I did finish up Midsummer Mysteries and I read the last 2 short stories in here, and honestly you can't go wrong with an Agatha Christie cozy murder mystery. I really enjoy it. We had one short story that was Tommy and Tuppence and one that was Hercule Poirot, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun and I loved the cozy mysteries in here. Sometimes I think some of the way the plots are, I'm like, wait, what? That kind of came out of left field. There was nothing there even indicated that this was a possibility, and then some of them I'm like, oh actually that makes perfect sense. I really enjoy it. I just love a cozy mystery, as I already said, and I am really enjoying my short stories and definitely want to start reading a short story every month, or even if it takes me a couple months to read, I definitely want to do that. So yeah, I really enjoy them. There's something really nice about sitting down half hour before bed or waking up and giving yourself half hour first thing in the morning to sit and read a cozy short story. It doesn't even have to be cozy, but just reading a short story before you start your day or last thing at night is so relaxing. That's something I really have enjoyed, is having slow mornings where I wake up, I do a hot drink, I have a little bite to eat, and then I sit down with a book and I just sit for half hour, and it's such a nice way to start my day. I feel like I start it in exactly the right mood, and even if I'm not sitting down and reading, I'm sitting down journaling. That's something I totally forgot to film. Like, I journal pretty much every single day, and I thought, oh, that would be perfect to add into this vlog because, you know, it works for that slower lifestyle vlog that I'm doing, and I just completely forgot. But I love journaling. It is so fun, and so having either a short story collection, reading a short story, or having a little journaling session before my day starts is something I have really come to appreciate. Obviously it doesn't work when I'm on my early shift, so it has to be of an evening at that time, but just taking that 30 minutes for yourself is so lovely. I'm really pleased that I finally finished this collection. I really enjoyed it. I just had so much fun, and while sometimes I don't really understand why these were put in the summer one, because it wasn't particularly said it was set in summer, or not all of them you get the summer vibes. Some of them you definitely do, and some of them you don't, but I think it's just to pad out the collection, and I really don't mind. This was great, and this one was a gift from Jane, so thank you so much, Jane. I have very much enjoyed reading this. And then of course we had my ebook, which is Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell, which we know I really enjoyed, having a young adult cozy fantasy. It was so fun and cute, and I really enjoyed it, and I do stand by what I said, that this felt very Studio Ghibli-esque, which I still need to put that poll up on Discord to see whether you would want Studio Ghibli books first or grimdark fantasy books. You can also put it in the comments below and let me know which book recommendations you would prefer first. I will definitely get to both of them. But yes, that is everything. So genuinely thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this slightly slower video. I've really enjoyed filming it. I've enjoyed taking time to bake a cake and get some new plants. Well, a plant. Like, it was just really nice and really fun. I'm so pleased I finally repotted my pothos or devil's ivy plant, because that needed doing for a long time, so I finally got that done. Like, it's just all these little things that I've been able to do because I took the time to go a little bit slower this week. It was lovely. It was really nice. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you remember to take a little bit of time for yourself and enjoy those cozy, relaxing hobbies. And let me know, have you read any of these books? Are you interested in reading any of them? Or what is a recent favourite cozy book that you have enjoyed? Let me know in the comments below, but I am going to leave it here. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I know I say thank you about 10 times at the end of each video, but it's because I genuinely mean it. I cannot believe that people want to sit here and listen to me ramble about books, so genuinely thank you. But right, I am gonna go. So if you have enjoyed this video, then do consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribing and commenting. Those 3 things really help this channel out. My social media links and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.